Alright, quick update on SLP. So SLP is looking very, very bad today. One of the hard hitters that has gone down 15%. A lot of the markets are slaughtered today, don't get me wrong. I mean, pretty much everything's moving down. I'm just noticing that SLP is one of the underperformers today. So let's talk about what's going on. Well, as you can see, since we highlighted in the previous video, we have broken below this trend line. So in our previous video, we talked about this M pattern breakdown. A very, very nice M pattern going on right here. The neckline was broken down, so we extrapolated the price target all the way down to 782, or I was about to say cent, but no, there's another zero in the way. So it looks like we're breaking down. At the time that we talked about this, we were talking about potentially a 28% drop unfolding. Now it's only about another 14%. So on the daily time frame, what gets very worrying about this, and I'm going to talk about what's going on in Bitcoin and how this correlates to SLP in a moment, but looking at SLP, we're coming right back down to the lows, and unfortunately I do not think we are going to hold the lows. I'm not here to be super moon boy hopium. I'm just looking at the charts and looking at what they're telling me, and it's not looking good. What the charts are telling me is we're moving down at least another 15%, but in my opinion, we are about to enter price discovery to the downside. What do I mean by price discovery to the downside? Well, if we invert this chart and pretend we're looking at a different crypto, you can see we're about to enter price discovery to the upside, aren't we? Previous all-time high would have been right here at 877, and it looks like we're about to break above it. I mean, this chart looks very, very bullish. If we were looking at this crypto, and let's just call it PLS, taking all the emotions out of it. This is why I really like inverting charts a lot of the time. It takes away a lot of the emotion in the market, because for example, if you're holding SLP, you might look at the chart and you might see something that's bullish that's not there because your emotions or your ego or your brain, your heart is telling you, that we're going to break bullish because this is something you hold, so you shouldn't look at things objectively. But when you flip the chart, it takes away your perceptions of what you think needs to happen, and it shows you what the market is gonna happen. And the market, to me, putting this in an inverse chart, I know it's kind of like a meme, but it works. You put what's the difference between looking at it upside down and looking at it the same way round? I mean, if you see a W pattern, it's just going to be an M pattern on the flip side. If you see an M pattern, it's just going to be a W pattern on the flip side. Everything's the same. The price targets stay the same. The scale stays the same. The chart stays the same. The growth stays the same. The patterns stay the same. The support and resistance stays the same. The EMA ribbons stay the same. It does not look good right now. Flipping it back to its normal version, you can see, I mean, these are the lows. There is nothing down here from SLP, and we really don't have price targets at this point. This is where it gets scary. I mean, I'm here to provide you technical analysis, but the fact of the matter is, if we draw this fib, so look, if we clear up the chart for a second, let me remove these drawings. There's only two fibs that I can draw from, and that is this macro swing. What do you notice the price target is? The price target is in the minuses, so we can't use this. This is invalid. There is only one other fib that we can draw from, and that is from this low to this high. And this is what I'm saying. We only have one price target. I have absolutely nothing to give you. I mean, if we draw down to this 2.618 fib, it's in the minuses again. So we absolutely have nothing. And I mean, there is nothing. I looked at this chart, I looked at the trend lines, I put it in a logarithmic growth scale. I tried to check for some previous macro fibs. I looked for EMA ribbons as support. There is nothing. There is absolutely nothing, and honestly, I might just keep the chart like this. I'm going to revert it back in a second, just so if we do turn up at some point, we still do have these support and resistances, but it's really not funny. This is the only trend line that we've got left. There is nothing. There is literally nothing for SLP. So when I do my SLP videos in the next week or so, coming into the next week, they're probably going to be a lot quicker because we don't have a plethora of trend lines and patterns to talk about. We literally have this low, we have this M breakdown target, and like we previously said, this 1.618 fib is all we have. We've broken below the lows of this trend line, so we can now get rid of this. What did I just get rid of? Was that another trend line? Oh, okay, so we've broken below the lows of this trend line as well, and we've broken below the lows of this trend line. We only have this low to high. This micro fib, we've already come down to the 4.236, so this is done. There's no more fib targets on here. And yeah, I could draw you a Fibonacci from the past 2 days worth of data traded and say, okay, we have these price targets, but I would just be drawing something on the screen for the sake of it for making analysis. I do not think there would be any value that I'd be adding in this video by just drawing micro fibs that are running off, you know, day pumps and dumps. I mean, I really think there would be no validity in that. So the fact of the matter is, if we do break below 696, which from where we are now is about 24% drop, well, it would have been a 24% drop, we've gone down, so now it's only a 22% drop. We've dropped since we started making this video. I think we are coming down to this price target. I hate to say it, you know, I'd much rather be a moon boy, but the fact of the matter is, I can only be a moon boy when there's bullish things going on the chart. I'm not a sugarcoater, I'm not a clickbaiter, I can't lie, I can't misinform you about what's going on in these videos. I'm not that type of YouTuber. I'm not here to try and shill you hopium. I'm here to tell you how it is. I'm here to tell you exactly what I see in the chart, and it does not look good right now. It looks like we're breaking down, looks like we're coming down to this price target. That's really all I've got. I don't think we talked about how Bitcoin correlates to this, so let me first show you the volume. Like we said at the start of this video, as we've broken down from this pattern, we've got an exponential increase in volume. Now, typically that means that we're going to keep on dumping, and it's the inverse if you start dumping and the volume starts dropping. That means that you're running out of sellers, you're running out of momentum. We're seeing the opposite. We're dropping and momentum is picking up. And what are we seeing on Bitcoin? Momentum on the daily is exponentially increasing. Come over to the 4 hour, look at this. This is disgustingly scary. And when I say disgustingly scary, I mean I've already lived through a crypto bear market, so I kind of laugh at these prices. Obviously it's not funny that people are losing money. I'm sure people are losing their minds with what's going on today. I'm honestly not too worried. I feel like I've never been calmer than today, because I really do believe in Bitcoin in the long term. I don't believe in SLP in the long term. Like I said, I'm not a moon boy, I'm not a shiller. I'm going to tell you how it is, even if it's not what you want to hear. If you haven't read the Axie Infinity white paper, I definitely recommend you read it. SLP is a very inflationary token, and it's hyperinflationary actually. I'd probably say it's maybe as hyperinflationary as the Zimbabwean dollar. And without people picking up and buying the market up, it is just going to keep landsliding, because they print SLP like that. You know, they've got like a money printer with SLP that they're just giving to Axie players out of thin air who play the game. So it's not looking good. SLP looks like it wants to break down. Bitcoin looks like it wants to come down to 29,000. So I would expect lower price targets for SLP. Hate to say it, but it is what it is. It looks like we're breaking down. If we hold this low, so be it. 875 needs to hold. I don't see it holding. That is my opinion. I think we're breaking down. I do not think now is the right time to be trying to catching a knife. You might end up with one less finger than when you put your hand out to try and catch the price. That's all I've got for you today for SLP. Not looking good. I will be the first person to tell you when we do start breaking bullish. And believe me, I would much rather be hopping on and saying SLP looks bullish, we're about to break out, we retested support, volumes coming in, we look great, but we're not. We look terrible. So it is what it is. Hope you're doing fine. Hope you're not pulling out your hairs over what's going on in the market today. Remember, if you got into crypto, why did you get into crypto? Did you get into crypto to just make fiat money and leave? If so, fair enough. But if you're like me and you got into crypto to get out of the fiat system and invest in something that you believe in that can help the future, then remember why you're in these markets today when everyone gets scared. That's all I've got to say to you. Best of luck. Really, best of luck if you're in SLP. Best of luck if you're in any crypto. It is going to be a rocky few days in my opinion. That's all I've got for you today. Cowboy out, not financial advice. As always, peace.